Welcome everyone. Today our guest is Vladimir Rémi, Senior Advisor of FinCabit Capital at Blockchain Bitcoin Conference Cyprus, November 30th. Vladimir will talk about exploring the new role of fintech in digital banking services. So let's shortly move to our first question. You know, in the blockchain community, as the financial expert with more than 8 years of experience, tell us please if the world is really on the verge of shifting the entire financial industry to blockchain. What are the prerequisites of this?
You see, I can't tell that the blockchain would change completely all the industry. I would rather say that the blockchain is completely alternative world for financial industry. From my point of view, personal one, it would be a separation between classic finance and virtual finance, the blockchain industry. It would go completely separately, because if the blockchain would change the current financial industry, then it would also become regulated. It would become the same as now happens with classic finances. So from one point of view, the blockchain would make a completely alternative world and a completely alternative economy for the world, for finance, for daily life, and for how people make the payments. So this is like the new way and generation of digital finance. But anyway, for the long term, definitely would stay the classic finance, classic banking, and classic services. But they would be more as the virtual finance and the blockchain would be growing, and classic finance, from my point of view, would be like losing the positions in the market. With each year, more and more, and especially with young people, which are now growing, which are already grown, they would more choose the way of making freely payments without any borders, without any regulations, rather than go to the classic banking and spend their time and life like struggling and all this current financial situation.
Okay, thank you for this answer. Next question is, how do you think, what is more likely, blockchain revolution or evolution, and will the changes be rapid or gradual?
I think that it would be more like blockchain evolution, because what is the revolution? Revolution is already happened. When the Bitcoin arrived and people start using it, it already made a revolution in the finance. People understood that everybody can become a part of financial world. They decide by themselves how to use their payments, how to pay, when to pay, and how to earn their money. It's revolution already happened. Right now, it's evolution. People are changing their mind about how they make daily payments, how they make the business, how they build the business. Because you can see, even the extremely large world countries are changing their mind. For example, in Dubai, right now, the government officially is developing own cryptocurrency, which they will use instead of traditional SWIFT payments to make the financial system cheaper, to increase income, to make it faster and modern. The same even in Russia right now. The government is thinking officially, finally, discussing making the cryptocurrency as the official currency for the government payments. In the United States of America, the same. IBM, for example, is buying the blockchain companies. There is a lot of development of this industry. So it's now evolution of this. Companies and in the countries would make evolution of their finance and would go to the blockchain industry. They will use all the bonuses of this in different kind of business and life. For example, in Latvia, some of the government structures already trying to use the blockchain and override the current technological systems to use it, as it open, free, and extremely rapidly developing. So from my point of view, it would be this evolution right now.
Okay, it's a very interesting opinion. Thank you. Let's move to another question. You work with WebMoney and MasterCard payment systems. Do you follow the development of cryptocurrency payment system now? And which project seems to be the most promising?
Actually, I want to be honest. I'm not especially interested to follow up these companies because WebMoney is the leader of the industry in CIS countries, and from my point of view, they have very extremely good system, extremely good company. It's popular, but I have different interests right now, and my clients and partners have different interests right now. So I'm not following them anymore. I like to see the website, to see the updates. It's interesting, but not more. The same with the MasterCard. Yes, I was working there with this company. I was making security services together, but right now it's too classic. It's classic and it's extremely, I can say, regulated. Technology means daily development, daily evolution, and as I mentioned in the previous question, daily revolution. Such big companies can't make revolution so fast as they want. Of course, there's a lot of policies in these companies, but yeah, Mastercard, for example, is thinking about blockchain. I read some articles where Mastercard is discussing the blockchains. From another point of view, they are making extremely good offer to the blockchain industry as they allow to make the crypto cards. What does it mean? Mastercard officially right now accepts a lot of prepaid card programs where blockchain companies are exchanging cryptocurrency for real currency, and Mastercard is allowing to issue such cards. I want to actually say a big thank you for this to the Mastercard, because this really brings a very good added value to the blockchain. From this point of view, Mastercard is really bringing a lot of positive things to the blockchain industry. But I don't think that the Mastercard would change all their system and put it on the blockchain, at least in the near future. So the same with WebMoney. WebMoney has own currency, which called, I think, WMB. It's equivalent of Bitcoins. But yeah, it is very useful. I know that a lot of people are using this currency, but what actually it brings as added value, I can't say. So these companies are developing in this industry. They're using such technologies, trying to enter it, but not so fast as probably it should be.
All right. Thanks for that complete answer and for frank answer. How can you assess the role of cryptocurrency in the future economy? Will the world use digital money as the payment method, or the cryptocurrency function will be another?
Actually, I think the blockchain would. Actually, the main goal of the blockchain is to change people's opinion about digital finance. I think the blockchain is helping people to understand that the cash is dying, and blockchain is bringing the freedom opportunity to pay, for example, to your friend in China without any borders, without any expensive payments, and only in a few seconds. Nobody can do it right now. No, I don't know any system which would allow you in a few seconds, without any questions, to make a payment to a friend, for example, in China. Um, when you can use it where you want, doesn't matter what kind of device you use. It's such freedom really make changes in the economy, because you can see that right now people are making big deals of buying, selling companies, corporations with the blockchain. For example, I know one deal that happened months ago when one payment institution was sold for 10 bitcoins. Can you imagine that the companies, financial institutions are sold using the bitcoins and fully officially? It's really changing the attitude to this industry. It shows that the people are making all of the business there, and fully official business. Right now, there's opening a lot of projects which allows to buy products, food, for the blockchain, for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, doesn't matter what kind of currency. People are receiving salaries in cryptocurrencies and then put it, for example, the same MasterCard as I mentioned, and pay for the food in the supermarket, for the fuel, pay for the rent with the cryptocurrencies. I know a lot of programmers and students which bought miners. Miners, if somebody don't know what it is, miners is special equipment which allows you to generate the cryptocurrency. For example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other. What does it mean? For example, some students can invest money, buy one or two these mining servers, install it, and after some time, right now it's about 3, 4, 5 months, these servers will start bringing them income. This income they can exchange to the real currency and spend to pay, for example, for the student loan, for the rent, for some club, pub, doesn't matter. So this is the economy. The people can make the money from own knowledge, from own skills. They can use it in daily life. So, of course, the blockchain is already changing the economy. And then in the next 2-3 years, we will see even more influence of the blockchain in the whole daily life. Right now, there is opening a lot of projects which are trying to implement the blockchain inside the medicine. For example, there would be virtual hospitals where people can speak with their doctors using the blockchain technology, pay, for example, with the Bitcoin. And this is opens a new way how extremely cheap technologies can change the same developing regions as Africa, Asia. So the blockchain strategies, like national strategies, you told, this was a part of the questions. Yes, we can see that the governments are implementing already. They're putting national currency inside the blockchain and making like crypto. For example, in Russia, it's crypto ruble right now. In Dubai, it would be their national currency. Also, they are now converting it to the blockchain. They are now European Central Bank is issuing the AML fifth directive, where the blockchain would be not regulated, but it would be the part of AML. And anyway, there should be monitored transactions. Companies which are using blockchain and issuing cryptocurrency should make KYC with the clients. So regulation is also happening, but it's not happening in a traditional way. It's more happening in the way as you should know your customer. You should know original funds, but you don't need any expensive license because it would not bring any added value to the blockchain. If somebody is thinking that they can get a license and everything would be fully transparent and all the risks would disappear, it's completely not understanding of the question, not understanding of the sphere. Take a look at each bank right now, which is now operating in the market. They're getting fines from national regulators. There's going quite big money laundering. And there is no big Bitcoin inside. It's classic finance. Classic finance have a lot of gaps inside it. They have a lot of problems. It's extremely expensive, overregulated, and still quite gray part of the financial industry. And they have license. They are under national banks, under national market regulators. And the blockchain is completely opposite to them. We can see each wallet, check it, amount of money, balance. We can see the origin of funds fully transparently and officially. So the blockchain is more transparent than any classic finance right now. So from this point of view, I think the blockchain regulation would be only in the way that, yes, blockchain companies should know their customers, but they are free to develop itself and to develop the services to the community. The more interest spheres for the market for the next, I think, 2-3 years still would be classic exchange of fiat money to the cryptocurrency and opposite cryptocurrency to fiat money. Because it's most important question for all market players right now is to establish the stable way how people can make the bridge between two worlds of classic finance and virtual finance. When it would be done, next steps would be development of elevated services as pay for the goods, services, buy some clothes with a Bitcoin, and etc. There will be market development. So in the future.
Okay, thank you. It's impressive. This is a very complete answer. Still, let's go to next question. So you live in Latvia. Tell us about the attitude of the country authorities and to blockchain and cryptocurrency. Are there any national blockchain strategies? Are these laws, both that exist and planned, they are affecting the sector?
Actually, I was interviewing our financial market regulator. It's FKTK called, it's Financial Capital Market Commission, and I was asking them such questions. No, there is no, I can already answer you, there is no any national blockchain strategy. The regulator also provided quite clear opinion that they don't consider blockchain, bitcoins, cryptocurrencies as the payment method. For them, it's a product. It's a product, and it would be not regulated with the fifth AML directive by them. It would be under the control of Tax Revenue Service, and they even don't want to, in the closed future at least, to start even discussing this as a question of regulation or usage in the financial industry. Other financial market regulators says that each bank can decide by themselves whether they want to work with blockchain or not. And of course, all the risks are as they put to the banks or other financial institutions which work with the blockchain. So, for example, if you're a bank and want to start processing bitcoins, it's your risks, how you mitigate them, how you identify the customers, how you control the origin of funds, and etc., etc., etc. So the market is free. You can open a classical TD in Latvia, for example, and start officially working with bitcoins, other cryptocurrencies without any problems. The regulator would not come to you and would not stop your business because it's officially not regulated business. As I mentioned, there was a very interesting description. It's not legal subject. They call the cryptocurrencies as not legal subject. So you should only understand that you need to pay taxes, yes, from your business. You need to declare them, but how you work with your blockchain technologies, it's your own decision. And of course, you will need a bank who would allow you to do this. And unfortunately, in Latvia, banks are not willing to operate with blockchain because they don't understand till the end what it is. They're still thinking that it's some kind of unregulated gray business, but unfortunately, it's not so.
All right. And then one of the areas of your current activities is financial consulting. Tell us, please, how much business is interested in blockchain today and which areas the interest is the highest?
I can say that right now, 70% of all the clients from our clients are moving to the blockchain. It started in the summer, I think, and each month it's only growing. Each month, a huge amount of inquiries, huge amount of interest to the blockchain industry. People are doing different kind of projects. It's, for example, loan issuing in cryptocurrency. It's property projects like real estate. It's real estate rent using the blockchain industry. It's medical projects. It's like virtual banks, virtual cloud mining services. So interest is so high that sometimes there is no so many time to work with each client as it should be. So business is also, we should understand that like right now is Europe, there is extremely big problem with the banking services, especially for international business. Banks are closing accounts, banks are making life for daily businessmen very difficult, very expensive, and people are looking for the new opportunities, how to pay for the goods and services, how to make the business, how to close the deals. And the blockchain is bringing such freedom to them. And they are step by step, one by one, companies are moving, opening crypto accounts and making payments actually inside the blockchain community and network. So what I can summarize, the interest is very high, and in the next year we will see, I think it's growing, not even monthly, but weekly.
Okay. And The last question for you will be about your speech at Blockchain Bitcoin Conference in Cyprus. You will talk about new role of fintech in digital banking services. So tell us briefly about new role.
I would actually speak about classic daily life of the blockchain industry. I would try to show to the audience how the blockchain is changing daily life of classic finance. For example, I will show you the classic financial industry banking services and how now they are transferring to the blockchain. How the fintech companies are using the blockchain to develop the new products, new services, what directions they go. How, for example, the classic traditional spheres could be converted into virtual companies and what it would bring. That would be how it would increase their income, how it would increase transparency of finance, and how it also opens new borders, new countries for this. So it would be like it will show the revolution which fintech companies is right now doing with the classic finance.
Okay. Then it was Vladimir Rémi, the advisor of FincoBit Capital. Thank you very much for this brief but very interesting interview. More details you will know at the Blockchain Bitcoin Conference in Cyprus in Limassol, November 30th. So the audience, thank you very much for joining us. See you there. Welcome. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you much. Goodbye.